In this demo, we will take you through the steps to spin up Linux instances and deploy web servers. First by console to see all options, and then by gcloud to get comfortable with the command line. Open Cloud Console. Select a project with billing enabled. Go to Compute Engine. In VM Instances, click Create Instance. Enter a name for your instance like Apache, and select a zone. Under Machine Type, open the list of predefined types. CPUs are called cores. You can have up to 8 cores and 52 gigs of memory in the free trial, but get more when you upgrade. Click Customize to see how to specify exact CPU, RAM, and GPU requirements. Return to the Basic view and select the F1 Micro to keep costs low. You can run Docker containers if desired. We will keep this disabled. Under Boot Disk, click Change to see your options. You can choose from OS images with predefined Community Linux and Windows images for anyone, application images with pre-installed software like SQL Server, custom images either you defined in your project or someone else shared with you in another project, snapshots if you backed up a root persistent disk, or existing disks if you have any unattached boot disks in this instance's zone. Return to OS images. We will choose a Debian 8 Jessie Linux disk, an SSD type, and 30 gigs. Notice you cannot choose local SSD for the root disk. You can choose a service account and specify API access. We will use defaults for now. Under Firewall Access, allow HTTP traffic for our web server. You could create a network firewall rule, but either way, you need to open port 80 for inbound traffic. Under Management, Disk, Networking, and SSH keys, we will set a startup script and metadata to install and configure the web server with a custom welcome page. Under Management, add the following lines for the startup script. This script starts the bash shell, gets the value of the greeting key from the metadata server, which we'll set to Apache 1 in the next step, installs the Apache web server, and writes a custom welcome page that uses the metadata greeting and says, "Hello from Apache 1." Now we add the key value pair for the metadata, so it can be retrieved by the startup script. The key is greeting, and the value is Apache 1. Note, you can set whether the host is preemptible and what policy to use for restarts. We'll use the defaults. Under the Disks tab, you can add disks. Notice that there are currently no unattached disks in this zone in the name field. If you wanted to add one now, click the Name field and select Create Disk. Here you can define and attach one to this instance. Click the disk type. Notice you can create a local SSD disk. We'll leave this page without creating an additional disk. Under the SSH Keys tab, you can specify whether to use project or instance SSH keys. We will use the project keys. Now we are done defining the instance, so click Create. When creation is done, open Cloud Shell and run a curl command to fetch the web server's welcome page using the instance's external IP address. We get an HTML page with the greeting, "Hello from Apache 1." Now we have explored instance creation options from the console and deployed an app. Let's do the same thing from command line. This is where tasks become scriptable and repeatable.